So hello, let's look at number 7 and continue. So here we have radical 5 multiplying to these two terms. Then what has to happen is we have to distribute radical 5. Then first one becomes square root of 50. Second one becomes plus 2 square root of 25. Now, but we realize 50 is equal to 2 times 5 squared once you do the prime factorization. 25, as you know, it's equal to 5 squared. So if I have to rewrite this one, it will be 2 times 5 squared. Plus, here, this one becomes also 2 radical 5 squared. Now, then 5 squared comes out here, becomes 5 radical 2. Now, plus 2 times this entire thing becomes simply 5. So our answer is 5 radical 2 plus 10, which is choice 1. Alright, let's look at number 8. Same idea as before. So when this one multiplies the first term, we end up getting 2 because it was outside already and there's nothing here. Square root of 8 y to the third power plus 2 square root of 6y. Now let's break down 8. We know that 8, if you have to break it down, then we need that to be 2 to the third power. Then this becomes 2. I'm going to rewrite 2 to the third power because we are in square root as 2 squared times 2 and y squared times y plus 2 square root of 6y. Then here 2 squared and then y squared. Both of them can come out. We end up getting 4y outside because 2 was already there. Square root of 2y and plus 2 square root of 6y. That's right, that becomes our answer, which is choice 3. Alright, let's continue. Number 9. Here what we have to do is we just have to do the FOIL or distributed property to 2 times. So 2 first multiplied 2 radical 2 becomes 2 square root of 2, and then 2 multiplies to negative 4 becomes negative 8 or minus 8. And radical 2 times radical 2 becomes square root of 4. Radical 2 times negative 4 becomes minus 4 square root of 2. Now here you realize that square root of 4 is equal to 2. Then you can combine these two things together. We end up getting negative 2 square root of 2 because they are like terms. And negative 6 plus 2 becomes negative 4. So, negative 6. Negative 8 plus 2 becomes negative 6. So this becomes our answer, which is choice 2. Number 10. Same way as before. Let's multiply them. 3 times 1 becomes 3. 3 times radical 3 becomes plus 3 radical 3. When you multiply the inner, then we get negative 2 radical 3 because anything multiplied by 1 becomes itself. The last one becomes negative 2 square root of 9. Now, then what is square root of 9? That's right, square root of 9 is equal to 3. So therefore, we end up getting 3. When you combine these two, you get plus radical 3 because 3 minus 2. And the last one becomes minus 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. Then 3 minus 6 becomes negative 3 plus radical 3. That becomes our answer, which is choice 1. Number 11, same way as before. Now, but since this one is conjugate, if you remember, x plus y times x minus y. You see that exactly the same thing except the sign in the middle. Then what we can do is first one squared minus second one squared. You could apply this idea here, then we end up getting square root of 5 squared minus square root of 6 squared. You see earlier we weren't able to do it because these ones are conjugate. They're not the same values multiplying to each other. On the other hand, but these were, except the sign in the middle. So therefore our answer is 5 minus 6, which is equal to negative 1. Choice 4. Number 12. Are these conjugate pairs? No, because they're not the same. So we just have to do the FOIL. So 3 square root of 7 for the first term. And second one is minus, positive times negative is negative, minus 3 square root of 49. Next one is minus 2 The last one is plus 2 radical 7. Here we can combine these two things together. We end up getting 5 square root of 7. Now, what is radical 49? That's equal to 7. So we have negative 3 times 7 minus 2. Now, what is 3 times 7? That's 21. But negative 21 minus 2 becomes negative 23 plus 5 square root of 7. So we end up getting choice 3 becomes our answer. Number 13. Number 13, in fact, is a conjugate pair because we have 2, radical A, but different in the middle signs. Here, therefore, we get 2 squared for the first one minus radical 8 squared. Then 2 squared becomes 4 minus square root, and then square cancels out, becomes 8, which becomes negative 4 as our answer. Alright, number 14 actually was already done here. This one is perfect square, so we have 3 plus radical 5 times itself. Once you do the FOIL, then we get 3 times 3 becomes 9. 3 times radical 5 becomes 3 radical 5. Same thing one more time here. Last one is radical 5 times radical 5. Now, this portion becomes simply 5, because square and then square root cancels out. So 5 plus 9 becomes 14 here, and 3 radical 5 plus 3 radical 5 becomes 6 radical 5. We have to keep the radical 5 as they are, which is choice 1 as our answer. Number 15, okay, also has been done already. You gotta multiply inside by inside and outside by outside. So 5 times 1, we get 5. R becomes R squared S. But here, what is the perfect square? R squared is a perfect square. Therefore, R can come out, then we have 5R S, our square root of S. That becomes our answer for number 15, which is choice 1. Number 16. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Outside by outside, we end up getting 3xy. How about inside? 90 times 2 becomes 180. X squared and then y squared. Let's break down 180. We get 10 and 18. 2 and 5. 6 and 3. 2 and 3. So in fact, that's equal to 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. Then if I were to rewrite it, 3xy, 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 times x squared times y squared. Here, this is a perfect square. Another one, and these two. So then what do we end up having? 2 and 3 comes out. Multiplying with 3, we end up getting 18. I already have x here, another x comes out, so we have x squared. I have y here, but another y comes up, so we get y squared. Square root of 5 by itself, which is equal to choice 3. Number 17, same idea as before. So 1/2 times 4 becomes 2, as you can see, and then b, that's what we have on the outside. B squared, and b to the third power times b becomes b to the fourth power, and x times x squared becomes x to the third power. But if you have to rewrite this one, we have 2b square root of b squared times b squared times x squared times x. Then 2 was already outside. We have b, but with 2 more b's coming out, so we have b to the third power altogether. X squared comes out, we have x square root of x. That becomes our final answer, which is choice 2, it seems. Alright, number 18. Now, how do you do this one? This one is 1/2 is outside already because of this one. If you have to combine the entire radical, we have 100 x to the fourth y squared all over 25 x squared and then y. If you have to rewrite this one, 1/2 is outside. 100 divided by 25 becomes 4. I have 4 x's multiplying together, x to the fourth power, divided by x squared. That means we have x squared. Two of them canceled out. Y squared and then y, we only have y left over. So then here, 4 can come out, becomes 2, so 1/2 times 2. X squared comes out, and square root of y that's left. 1/2 times 2 becomes 1, which cancels out. We end up having x square root of y. That becomes our final answer, which is choice 1. Number 19. Inside there's nothing cancels out. Then you get to realize that 27 is 3 to the third power, while 4 is 2 squared. So if I have to rewrite this one, we have 3 over x is already there. Here we have 3 to the third power, that means 3 squared times 3. And x squared we already had. And 4 becomes 2 squared. That means this, and these 3 will all come out. So 3 was already outside, and another 3 comes out, and x comes out. 2, x was already there, and then 2 comes out. And the only thing that's left is radical 3. But here, x is cancelled out top and bottom. Therefore, we end up having 9 over 2, because 3 times 3 is 9. And then square root of 3, which is choice 3. Number 20. What is 45? 45 in fact is equal to 3 squared times 5. So then here we can rewrite this one as xy square root of 3 squared times 5 times x squared times y times z squared, z squared, z squared, and z. That's how we can break down 0 to the 7th power. Then let's circle the perfect squares here. Then we have 3 coming out. X was already there, but I have another x coming out, so we have x squared. Y was there, but no other y coming out. Z, how many of them? 1, 2, 3. Z to the third power. And square root of 5yz. Then what do we end up getting? Yes, the answer is choice 4, I believe. Alright, and we'll stop here, and then we'll have part 3 on this one very soon. See you later.